All right, welcome back, everybody, to day number 4 of Southeast Asia NFT Week. What is Southeast Asia NFT Week? It is an event brought to you by Access Blockchain Association of Malaysia, the local blockchain association, along with its many media partners, including Bitcoin Malaysia, Blocklime, ETH KL, TalkChain, the Grenade, App Media, and Imperium Universe. What is this week all about? This event is actually part of a larger series of weeks. Oh, sorry. Did I get it right? Sorry. Haha. Yeah. done. Sorry for the hiccup, everyone. Right. So Southeast Asia NFT Week is part of a larger series of events called Malaysia Blockchain Month. A total of 6 weeks of content every single day, Monday to Friday, just 1 hour, 5 to 6 p.m. We bring you a different type of content every single day. Every single week is a different theme. We've already passed week number 1, which is everything to do with the developments of the industry in Malaysia. Week number 2, DeFi. Week number 3, NFTs, which is this week. And then next week, we're going to cover enterprise blockchains. Week number 5, we're going to do a lot of developer boot camps to train up the talent in the industry. And we're going to end Malaysia Blockchain Month with week number 6 with a 2-day conference called Ignite. Now, 6 weeks of events, that's a lot. Why are we doing this? We are doing this because as an association, part of our mission is to grow the industry. What kind of industry are we looking about? In an industry where there are digital assets that live on the internet in these decentralized networks called a blockchain. And if you add up all these digital assets, what you get, is they are worth $1 trillion. This industry, hit this milestone in January this year. It took 12 years, to get to this point. But guess what? Fast forward 9 months later, right now in September, we are at $2 trillion. That's how fast this industry is growing. And this only, guess what? This does not include the topic that we're going to talk about today. That is NFTs. Why? Because all that you see here in CoinGecko are fungible tokens. So let's get into it. What are NFTs? Non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible tokens are digital tokens that are minted and secured by a blockchain to give anything unique, a digital identity so that they can exist on the internet and be secured by the decentralized web. This could be anything from a JPEG file, a text file, or game items, or a piece of property, that real world physical asset that you want it represented in the blockchain space. And over the week, we have actually covered a lot of content from the artist's point of view, from the gamer developer's point of view, from some of the media content point of view. And today we're going to touch on something very interesting. But before we get into that, I got a lot of questions, right? Like, where's the value coming from? How do you, uh, give value to these kind of like JPEG files and etc. So I read something very early morning today, and I thought that is very interesting to share. The value comes from signals and signal value, and signal value is this thing where it's very, very part of our human behavior. How we actually give things value through the signal that it provides. Say, for example, you see between this two different cars. Clearly, okay, if you own one car, all right, that kind of like signals your financial position, your financial status, your stability, etc., compared to owning the other car. So these kind of other signal cues. So the same thing, okay, with NFTs. NFTs, okay, are a quick way, okay, of storing or signal value. For example, CryptoPunks, which is today worth a lot of money. The last sold, okay, this particular alien CryptoPunk was last sold for 4,200 ETH, which at today's price is 14 million US dollars. That's a lot of Lamborghinis. So and another thing, okay, that a lot of people ask, okay, is that Jason, can't I just copy and paste, okay, these NFTs, right? Like for example, this guy did tweeted like I think just 5 days ago. He said that I copied the entire collection, all right, and I'm just going to wait for 10 years. No, that's not how NFT works. Why? Because that's just like um, going to the Mona Lisa, and taking pictures of the Mona Lisa and saying that you what's that this Mona Lisa that you have copied and paste is going to be worth a lot of money one day. That's not how it works. The value is in ownership of the when you own, okay, the NFT, right? Okay, and the thing about people is that people love owning things that others can't have, and this is what, okay, digital scarcity that is made possible thanks to NFTs that are created, minted, and secured by a blockchain. Another example, okay, of this is recently we saw in the news the original Doge meme was bought, okay, was minted in January 1st, and then it was bought, okay, for 4 million US dollars back in June, and then a few days ago, we saw this phenomena happen in the NFT space where the owners, okay, of this original Doge meme fractionalized it in many different, okay, with another token, fractionalized token, and then allowed people to basically buy and share ownership, okay, of this NFT. And a lot of people this was very successful, and now this NFT is worth 336 million US dollars. So what are the benefits of NFT fractionalization? Today we have someone very special, a very special guest, Benjamin Ramu from JennyDAO. What is JennyDAO? JennyDAO is a uh, metaverse DAO, okay, that is backed by a lot of prominent investors, raised recently, okay, back in May, about 7 million US dollars to acquire NFTs and to fractionalize so that you democratize the ownership of it. And recently has done a lot, okay, in uh, what's that? A lot of purchases, okay, including Bored Apes, including CryptoPunks, etc. So without further ado, let's learn, okay, about the benefits of NFT fractionalization with Benjamin Rameau. Thank you, Benjamin, for being here today with us at Southeast Asia DeFi Week. Welcome to Southeast Asia.
Hey, Jason, great to see you.
So, Benjamin, first question: have you ever been to Southeast Asia?
I've been a couple of trips. I haven't traveled that much, to be honest. Lived in Japan for a bit. Now live in Hong Kong.
Okay, so I'm really excited, okay, to learn more about JennyDAO today. Can you start by sharing what is JennyDAO and how it got
Sure,
started?
sure. So JennyDAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, which is a type of democratic organization which pools funds and which makes votes on acquiring various NFTs. So we've got some of the greatest leaders in the NFT space who've been part of the DAO and who've been guiding the community towards making some of the best acquisitions. So by now, we've probably spent, I'd say less than half of our budget, and we've already got a pretty impressive collection. We've got a CryptoPunk, we've got some Meebits, we've got some CyberKongs, we've got we're starting to get a very proper collection. I think what's really exciting about JennyDAO is that it's not just the members of the community who've really been engaged, but it's even the outside artists who have created content which is custom made specifically for the JennyDAO. And as far as I'm aware, there's no other DAO which is like this. So, for example, there's Sarah Zucker, who's one of the first, really the OG of crypto art. And she made an NFT of a woman smoking a cigarette and wearing a aviation cap and with the airplane in the background. And the Jenny stamp is, the Jenny DAO was named after the Jenny stamp, which is a stamp which was printed upside down by accident, and it's a stamp of an airplane. And the idea behind that is that stamps were the biggest collectible for a long time. Every collectible is unique, and some things are even more unique than others, such as the misprint on the stamp, which makes it extra special. And NFTs are very similar to that. I think that digital ownership and digital scarcity is even more exciting in a world where every NFT is different and everything is unique, and some things are more unique than special. And these are the things that we want even more. So we've got a number of artists who've made specific content for the JennyDAO. Steve Aoki, the DJ, and Blau made a song together called the Jenny Song. It's really cool song. I think there've been many songs which have been put on NFT, but not that many are songs that actually have a quality that you want to listen to in nightclub. The Steve Aoki and Blau song actually is nightclub material. I think Steve Aoki in Vegas has been playing it.
Wow.
Yeah. During COVID, can't really travel and enjoy it, but I guess on YouTube we can party.
So who are the founders, of JennyDAO?
There's myself and there's Jay Chung. Jay's got a very interesting story. I knew him when he was 16 years old. And at 16, he was already a blockchain developer, and he was going through all the bugs in the EOS code. This was 2017. And I heard about this high school student who found, who got nicknamed the Ghostbuster because he just helped to debug a bunch of stuff. And I think now we know that EOS is actually not a very good blockchain. But in 2017, 2018, he was attracting a lot of very intelligent people. And even at 16 years old, it was clear that Jay was a leader in that space. And we kept in touch, and we've been friends, and we've worked on various stuff together. And now that there's really an exciting opportunity, I think, in the NFT fractionalization space, I partnered up with him, and we both became co-founders.
Right. So, can you share with the audience, what is the intention of actually creating a DAO that collects, number one, collects art, right? Collects NFTs, and then fractionalizing them. What is the intention here? What are you trying to do?
So what blockchain gives us is transparency and true digital ownership rights, and if set properly, governance. And DAOs, and particularly fractionalization, can enable all of this. I think that there've been a few NFT collectives which have been very successful and came much earlier than we did, and probably have, honestly, much better art than we do. But what they rely on still is on some element of trust.
Yes.
There's when you fractionalize and you create governance rules around that, you can have the fractions which control the vault where the NFTs are stored. And the DAO, first of all, makes democratic type selections of what goes into the vault. But once you want to, the key thing is extracting NFTs from the vault. And you need to set clear, fair rules which are not dependent on trust. And this is what becomes possible with fractionalization and with platforms that we use, such as Uniquely.
So how does the fractionalizing actually work? Are you building something yourself, or are you using something, an existing platform to fractionalize it?
There's an existing platform called Uniquely, UNICLY, where we are contributors. It was a fair launch, community-run project, um, which resolved a lot of the previous issues that you had with fractionalization. There've been many attempts at doing this, and most of the problems that other fractionalization platforms had revolved around game theory. I think fractionalizing an asset is very easy, but how do you take multiple NFTs, which are all different, every NFT in the world is different, and allow, let's say you've got 5 NFTs which are non-divisible, you've got millions or billions of shards, and how do you let people claim back the NFT that they want and no other one in a way which is fair? Fair means that all the shards are treated equally, and efficient. Efficient means that no single shard can block the whole system from happening. And this has been a very complex issue that so far really only Uniquely has been able to solve. The other key advantage of Uniquely is that it's very well suited for DAOs because you're able to inject NFTs into the vault retroactively. So as a DAO, people get together, decide how the funds are dispersed. It takes a lot of time to build a collection. Nobody becomes an art collector overnight. And
Right.
having a group of people deciding on becoming art collectors takes even longer. There's a lot of debate, there's voting processes. And because it takes a lot of time, you first want to be able to create the shards in the vault. And then as you buy them over time, you want to be able to add more NFTs to the collection. And once every couple of weeks, we keep on adding more. And this is only possible on Uniquely as well, which makes it very special.
Right. So my takeaway is that the way how JennyDAO works is that you're using the platform to uniquely to fractionalization, right, of the collection, so that don't just need to focus on curating and collecting, because that in itself is a very nuanced, okay, and a lot of effort actually doing that right. So while okay, you just focus on doing what they do best, meaning while the collectors do what they do best. That's my takeaway. Is that correct?
Jason, I think you cut out a couple of times there, but I think you're talking about the relationship between the JennyDAO,
Uniquely,
right?
yes. Yeah. So what I got from what I took away is that Uniquely does what it does best, which is that provides a platform to fractionalize the collection, make sure that the smart contracts, okay, are audited and etc. Meanwhile, the JennyDAO and its members and its committee just focus on building out a really, really good collection. Is that correct?
Exactly. You got it.
So the next question that I have is that as you are collecting all these NFTs, right? Does the Jenny token, the U Jenny token, continuously represents the collection even as you add, collections into it?
So the UJenny token itself has real governance rights within the Uniquely platform.
Okay.
And someday the community might decide to liquidate the vault and sell the NFTs to the highest bidder. The day that happens, that's going to happen through a vote. And the way people vote is by using their U tokens, their Jenny tokens. And so this is really where the two intersect.
Right. So say for example, okay, maybe let's give an example. Say for example, bought uh, a crypto punk today. You decided to put a CryptoPunk today and add it into the collection, and then CryptoPunk increases in value like a lot suddenly, right? Does does that immediately increase the value of the entire collection? That's my question.
Okay. In an efficient, perfect market, yes. Markets are not always perfect and efficient.
Right.
I think there's lots of other factors involved, such as marketing and popularity and all kinds of different things.
Right.
Uh,
So that can be a case, okay, where the UJenny token, which represents the entire collection, right, does not know, okay, the market does not know that a very valuable art piece just entered into it, and the price increases. So there are these kinds of market imperfections.
Valuing NFTs is a difficult business, and there's a few companies working on it. But I think valuing art, valuing NFTs in a market which is often illiquid, where you've got all kinds of um, all kinds of insider deals or wash trading, and it's especially valuing, say, a one of one NFT is a extremely difficult business, and there's people building sophisticated analytics to try to solve this problem. But first of all, finding the true value of the underlying assets is not easy, and then finding the value of a derivative on that, I guess, is could potentially improve the situation, because it's a lot easier to get price discovery on the liquid asset than on an illiquid asset. Um, Unfortunately, the underlying asset price is not the only factor that comes in. I think there's all kinds of other stuff that can impact the price.
Okay. So can I understand a little bit about the benefits of owning a fractionalized uh a fraction of a collection, like say the Eugenie collection, right?
Mhm.
So I believe a few weeks ago, you bought a CryptoPunk, and it allows the token holders to then use, okay, because that's what people want. People want to be able to signal, right? Use it as their Twitter avatar, etc. How does that work?
Sure. So buying a CryptoPunk is pretty expensive.
Yes.
I guess prices might have dropped over the past couple of days, but you might have to spend about $200,000 before you can get your CryptoPunk, and not everybody can afford to spend that much money.
Yes, that's the price
Um,
of my apartment.
um, the other issue with NFTs is that it's very difficult to buy because there's all these different rarity traits. There's some fake NFTs. There's all kinds of reasons why buying and accumulating a collection of NFTs is very difficult and time consuming. And for both of these reasons, buying a fraction makes a lot of sense. You cannot spend $200,000 on a CryptoPunk, spend $100. You cannot spend the time to figure out the difference between all the rarity traits on Bored Apes, participate in a DAO, which is going to use wisdom of the crowd and is going to collectively spend a lot more time figuring those things out for you. So for all those things, I think fractionalization is an exciting space. Now, I don't own a CryptoPunk. I can't afford a CryptoPunk at current prices. Definitely not just for my profile picture. So my profile picture on Telegram is the CryptoPunk that was bought by the JennyDAO. So even though it's not my CryptoPunk, I'm a member of the JennyDAO, and therefore I feel entitled to use that as my profile picture. And it's same with my co-founder Jay. He also uses the same CryptoPunk, and some of the investors in the community as well have been using the Jenny CryptoPunk.
Are,
So
are there rules, okay, like how much of a fraction you actually need to use the CryptoPunk?
it's that's a matter of personal interest. I think to become a exclusive member of the Jenny community and to have access to the exclusive channels in Discord, for example, you just need to prove ownership of one Jenny token. Um, Now, a lot of it just comes down to feeling. If you own one Jenny token, does that really commit you enough to be able to justify having our CryptoPunk as your profile picture? Maybe it does. Maybe some people feel the need to get a lot more engaged.
So currently, I get that that these we are still in a very, how do I say, we're still trying to figure it out. Okay, NFTs are extremely new, DAOs are extremely new, still trying to figure it out. Um, but can So does that mean that, okay, if I say for example, if like this Bored Ape looks really, really cool and I would like to use that as my avatar, all I need to do is to get one Jenny token?
Yes, anybody can copy and paste a picture,
Mm,
but anybody can also buy fake Rolex. And to people, in 99% of people, to even to me, a fake Rolex and a real Rolex looks pretty much the same. But within the small circle of people around you who know what a real Rolex is, they'll know that you're not wearing a real Rolex, and you won't be part of that circle. And in a way, NFTs are very similar. I think that you can copy and paste a picture, or you can take a picture, take an NFT from the JennyDAO, even though you're not a member of the JennyDAO. And to 99% of the people in the world, that will make absolutely no difference. But the JennyDAO is an active community where we have our own Discord channels, where we have our own debates, where we have our own leaders or thought leaders. And to those people, they will know whether you're a member or not. And if you want to cater to those people and want to understand what they're doing, then that does make a difference.
got it. Okay. So basically, if you are a person of integrity, okay, on the on-chain proof, right? Okay, then this is the way to go. Right. Okay, so my other question, okay, would be, um, with enough liquidity, do you think it is possible that NFTs can be used as collateral in DeFi in the near future?
Absolutely. And this is what fractionalization brings. This is really the most exciting point. I think accessibility is nice to have, but what fractionalization is going to bring to NFT space is going to be huge, because NFTs right now are very similar to what crypto was in 2017. Everybody gets excited when prices go up. People put it as their profile picture. I guarantee you, when prices go down 90%, if they do, you won't see many people with profile pictures of CryptoPunks anymore, because it's very similar. Once in 2017, you had your crypto. There wasn't actually very much you could do with it. During the bear market of 2018, 2019, DeFi infrastructure was built. And DeFi infrastructure, you started getting lots of new concepts where people started locking money into smart contracts in order to generate yield. And you started having yield aggregating, lending, collateralization, rehypothecation, all kinds of DeFi concepts, which means that now you've got a huge amount of money which is locked in the system and it's not going to leave. We had a market crash in May to July, quite a violent crash. But the total value locked in the system actually did not change that much. And this gave me a lot of confidence that the market would recover, because you still have a lot of participants who still believe in the system enough to have their money locked in there. NFTs right now don't have that yet. Very few NFTs actually have utility. And once the price of the NFT goes down, it's very difficult to generate a yield from it and to really keep confidence throughout a bear market. But fractionalization will change this. Once you can fractionalize NFTs, then you have a liquid asset which you can use as collateral for loans, which you can lend out, which you can rehypothecate, yield aggregate, stake, everything that people love doing in DeFi.
You
And
can
this is
have a
going to
price
change everything.
oracle.
Price oracles as well. That's true. You get a live stream of prices on liquid assets, which you don't get on illiquid assets such as NFTs.
So, how do we get there? Is this part of something, okay, of a roadmap? Are there like numbers, okay, that we must hit, okay, as a community? What are the numbers, okay, uh, or say, for example, a protocol like Aave would consider using collateral, NFTs as collateral? Do you know? Are there other conversations like these already happening?
Yeah, there are conversations like this happening on platforms like Aave. And keep in mind, in DeFi, there's really two inventions which made all of DeFi possible. The first one was the Bancor protocol, where you had the AMM, and this idea that you could trade on-chain against a smart contract at any time you want without a counterparty. And that made Uniswap, SushiSwap, and even uniquely possible. The other invention which made DeFi possible was liquidations through MakerDAO. And liquidations and AMM model then made everything else that you have right now. Aave, for example, is dependent on liquidations, and liquidations were invented by MakerDAO. So to get this in the NFT, to bridge NFTs and DeFi, I think it's going to take it's going to take less time than it did for traditional crypto, because we already have a roadmap. We already know how DeFi works. All that we're just lacking right now is the infrastructure to bring NFTs into the liquid tradable space. And what you'll end up happening is that whoever is able to dominate the fractionalization space is going to become the dominant player in the NFT DeFi space. And my belief is that it's going to be through uniquely.
Okay. It's also very interesting you mentioned just now that the two inventions, liquidation by MakerDAO, that one I think I was aware, but you mentioned that the inventor of AMMs is not Uniswap, it's Bancor. I did
Yeah,
not know that.
people have forgotten. I think Eyal Herzog invented, he's the true godfather of DeFi. I think there have been many people who've been gotten a lot of respect in the current cycle, but Eyal is the one who's behind all of this. Maybe they raised too much money in 2017. Maybe they weren't aggressive enough developing in the bear market. But I think we, it's like right now we're building trains, and these were the inventor of the steam engine. Nothing would be possible without them.
Okay, so back to JennyDAO. Can you share with the audience, like, now that we have a large overview of what JennyDAO is? JennyDAO is here to collect NFTs, right? Okay, maybe share with us, okay, how do you choose? Like, how do you choose, okay, this very, very new space? What is an NFT that your opinion has, like, is worth putting in the vault? Now, before you answer this question, just want to remind, okay, everyone, disclaimer, none of the content shared throughout this should be treated as financial or investment advice. Please use this as a completely free resource, okay, to better your learning experience. All right. And do ask questions, all right, because we're going to give out a Aave swag pack, okay, to a lucky winner. All right. Now with the disclaimer done, Benjamin can go. How
Can
do
I
you
get
choose
back,
an
or only the audience?
uh y- yeah, I'll
Okay,
follow
no,
up with
right.
you later.
So as a DAO, the DAO will liquidate the assets in the vault when the DAO decides to do it, and I don't control that. But I know that the process for liquidation is not impossible, but is difficult, and that's the way it should be. And for that reason, the DAO is probably going to be here for the long term. We can assume that it's going to be here for years. And we have to think, what kind of NFT assets are going to be around for years? Some art pieces will be in museums. I think within the art class, asset class, NFTs is currently the hottest thing. I just opened an NFT art gallery with some friends we had our opening ceremony on Sunday last week. And it was a huge success, very popular. And you can really tell that there's craving within the art community for more NFT assets. But because it's so new, having the concept of a NFT gallery is new, let alone having museums which are exhibiting these. So there's a museum in Nanjing which has some NFTs on display. There've been a couple that have been working on this. I think Christie's and Sotheby's getting to the space has been a huge positive. But we're still very early in this, and we have to think, who are the artists who are going to be displayed in museums in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, in 100 years? And
Right.
I think that you really have to look at the original artists, people like Sarah Zucker and CryptoPunks, because if you're buying impressionist art and you're looking for, if a museum is looking for exhibiting impressionist art, they're probably going to be looking for the people who defined the movement. So they'll be looking for the the Van Goghs or the Monet or the very early artists who opened a new gateway in the art movement. And these kind of artists in the NFT space happened around 2019. That's really when things started opening up. There've been some earlier projects as well, which are exciting. There's Mooncats, which was the first NFT project, which was forgotten and then brought back to light very recently. There's a few of these which I think are going to have very long-term value. Now, the way the market works, though, is that there's often is short-termism, and some of the biggest communities have been very excited over projects which have performed very well over the short term. And every 2 hours now we get a new NFT drop.
Yes,
And,
every 2 hours.
Um,
That has created a lot of gas wars as well.
we're suffering with our gas fees. But we also have to wonder, how many of these NFT projects are still going to maintain value in 5 or 10 years? And will they be museum pieces? And I think that many of these are fashions which are not going to last. And so for these reasons, I think we have as a DAO, we have a very strong bias towards the long term.
So is there a mental so has that void already been filled already? So it's like you have your CryptoPunks, you have your Bored Apes, right? Is there like a mental model like to that you follow already? Like what do you make of, say, for example, what do you make, for example, what would you categorize CryptoPunks and uh CryptoPunks, because these are already part of your collection. What would you categorize your CryptoPunks, your CyberKongs, you know, versus saying something like something which is already in your collection, um, something like the most recent one that you did, which is the the Ocean World one. What
Right.
are the differences in this?
Right. So Ocean World is not really an NFT artist. He's a graphic artist who has recently got into the NFT space. So he's not an OG of the NFT space, and we have to give him a little bit of a chance, right? But his artwork is quite extraordinary, and he does have a very large following outside of the NFT space. And I think part of what we're trying to do with JennyDAO and with my NFT gallery is that we're trying to draw more people into the space. I think NFTs have really been a great opportunity to bring in new people. I think there's a lot more diversity this year than there was last year. I think crypto market was dominated by men and often by geeks. And now you've got artists, you've got women, you've got a whole new population really, which is you got a lot of older people, who are beyond their 20s, including
You're right.
myself,
You're right.
getting old.
It's very different from a year ago.
Yeah, and this is really one of the great things that the NFT space has brought to crypto. And I think being able to draw artists from the non-crypto world into crypto and having their fan base migrate into our space, I think is also going to be very exciting. And this is where I see people like Ocean World playing in.
Okay, can we talk a little bit about the roadmap? Now, things move really, really fast in the space. When we talk about, the what is going to be done, I think time frame is 3 months, because 3 months would already seem like a year, right? What is the 3 month, 6 month roadmap ahead in the JennyDAO?
So in the current phase of JennyDAO, we're in the accumulation phase. We're growing our community. We're acquiring more NFTs. We're growing. There's something very exciting happening with Uniquely on version 2, where it's going to become possible to spin off individual NFT assets. And that's when the DAO will start becoming very exciting. So not only will we be voting on acquiring individual NFT assets, we'll also be voting collectively on disposing them. And this idea that assets can flow through the DAO I think art is not always made famous by the artists. I think throughout history there've been a lot of very good artists who just haven't made it, and art is made famous usually by the collectors. And once JennyDAO becomes one of the most reputable NFT collectors in the world, just the process of having NFTs absorbed by the community and then released back to the outside world is going to be a very interesting process. I'm really looking forward to that. And this will be happening within the next few months.
Got it. Right. So next thing, okay, that you're looking forward to is the DAO will be able to participate in which assets to actually exit as well.
Exactly.
All right. Let's take some questions, okay, from the audience. Afiq Yusuf asked the question: any plans from JennyDAO itself to come up with their own NFT project instead of just being a collector of their own?
You know, Afiq, I think that's a very good question, and I think you should be part of it. JennyDAO is a community-led movement, and if you've got ideas on coming up with our own NFTs, then by all means, join our Discord channel, join the exclusive community group, and share your ideas on how we should do it. I think we have a large community of artists who would be happy to work with us, and they'd be happy to work with you.
Any plans to roll up some kind of NFT fractionalization education for public learning?
Good point. I think fractionalization is complicated on the interface and complicated in all the game theory behind it. I think it would be good for us to come up with some videos and explain through some of these things. But you know, I'm always available on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm Rambo First Blood, or you can find me on the Jenny Discord channel. And feel free to ask any questions you have. I'll be very happy to answer.
Another question from Lou. Lou asks, just wondering, when you are voting to sell an NFT, is it based on 51% or supermajority or some other condition?
Good question. That depends on the rules set by the creator of the gallery. So uniquely allows you to set the parameters for governance, and you can set the threshold ratio for votes anywhere from 1% to 99%. 1% is not good because very few number of token holders can end up controlling the result of the liquidation. If you set it too high at 99%, it's also going to be bad because you never really get 99% of people agreeing on many things in life in general. So somewhere in between is the right number. I think many collections have used 50%. JennyDAO uses 50%. But I think there's no clear-cut correct answer. But you're right, Shen, that does bring in a lot of game theory issues.
I think this question is interesting because, as I understand it right now, JennyDAO and Jenny Token is on the Uniquely platform is on Ethereum mainnet, where it's quite costly to participate in. Are there any plans, okay, to create another experience in maybe a layer 2 solution?
Yes. So Uniquely is integrating Polygon. And I see a little Aavegotchi behind you, Jason, on the screen. So I think we're both fans of those cute little guys. And they're on Polygon. Aavegotchi itself has been, from the very start, a very strong supporter of Uniquely. And as the JennyDAO, I think we'd be very excited to start accumulating some Polygon assets as soon as it becomes possible.
So getting a to be part of JennyDAO, one needs to be basically a partial collector fraction, own some Jenny tokens, right? So they would go to Weekly, okay, get some Jenny tokens, and they can say that, I have now a fraction. Okay, I own a fraction, okay, of this collection. But what about participating, okay, in the DAO governance? Is that a costly experience?
It is not costly because the voting is done through Snapshot, and Snapshot
Okay.
is not very gas intensive. Um, and it is time intensive, but I think what we get out of it is greater than what we put in.
Great. John asks, how is airdrop or NFT staking handled by the vault? Do you
How
understand
is
his question?
airdrop or NFT staking handled by the vault? Yeah. So once the NFTs are in the vault, you can stake it. And JennyDAO has been whitelisted by the Uniquely platform for yield farming. And so you take your Jenny token, you combine it with either a unique token or with ETH, you stake it in the pool, and you can start getting these juicy APYs, that are about 90% annual. So it's a pretty straightforward process on the Uniquely platform.
Okay, I have one question on my own. What do you think is missing in the NFT space right now that must improve?
I think people are innovating crazy stuff every day. I mean, just look at Loot Project, right? Who
Yes,
would
yes,
think they completely turned the whole model of
from
value
top
creation and
down,
NFTs upside down? And
right?
that was a week ago, right? Who would have thought? 2 weeks ago, who would have thought that would be possible? Uh,
Yes,
so people are creative in crypto space, but I feel that in the NFT space, you've got even more creative people, and they're coming up with really cool stuff all the time. My vision still is the same. I really want to see more financial use cases for NFTs. I think what Uniswap on V3 with their NFT LP positions has done is very exciting. And once you start getting financial type of NFTs, the potential becomes limitless. I think CryptoPunks are expensive. The floor price of CryptoPunks might be $1 million someday, but it's very difficult to get billions or $1 trillion of market cap just on cute JPEGs. And to really take it to the next level, we need financialization. And this is really going to the whole link to the real world also is going to be through NFTs. In the real world, every asset is different, right? You've got my car is different from somebody else's, my neighbor's car, and my apartment is different from your apartment. And because all these assets are different, having non-fungible tokens representing them is really the way to go forward. And just put real estate on NFTs. That's going to be a massive market.
personally, that's also the thing that I'm most excited about, which is basically giving liquidity, fractionalization, giving liquidity to these NFTs. And when it is liquid enough, you can use our NFTs, okay, and use it on a platform like Aave. Don't have to sell it. Okay, there's a price oracle that actually shows, okay, that my crypto punk is, I don't have a crypto punk, but just imagine, one can imagine, right, that if I have a crypto punk again, it's like, I don't know, $10, right, or $10 million, I can actually extract some borrowings, okay, against my NFT. That would be like super awesome. All
Yeah.
right. So, okay, so we have a few more questions. How is JennyDAO different than other fractionalized NFT platforms? Um,
Right. So I
it's
think
still early, but go
mhm.
ahead.
I think Fractional is the other very popular fractionalization platform at the moment, and they've done a really good job marketing. And I think you showed Jason in the article earlier about the
Years
Doge
ago.
that NFT that's worth $300 million. Um, it's quite remarkable that they were able to do that, and they've done a really good job at bringing awareness to the fractionalization space. It's not well suited for DAOs because you don't have the ability to retroactively add NFTs to a vault. But I think for sharing the message of what we're all trying to accomplish here, they've done a terrific job. Probably, as far as I know, I think the first concept of fractionalization was not true fractionalization, but was the social token. And social token had some real pioneers in the NFT space who built these amazing collections and were able to share them with their communities. And so there's no on-chain governance for redemption of the NFTs, but you're working with a community of people that I think we should be able to trust. And people like Whale Shark with the Whale token have really been amazing innovators and have contributed a huge amount to the NFT space. As far as I'm aware, the first fractionalization platform, which was all on-chain, happened with Niftex. And Niftex allowed you to fractionalize individual NFTs, which worked very well. There are some game theory problems around the fact, for example, that you're forced to sell at a certain price. Under the Niftex model, if I come and buy out your NFT, people have to counterbid and offer bigger prices. And in a world where people are always threatened to be forced to sell to the highest bidder, it's not a very fair system. I think our grandmas would not want to live in a house if somebody came to their house with a suitcase of cash and said, "Get out of here unless you pay me more." There's NFTX, which is I think the first platform which allowed people to fractionalize collections of NFTs. And this worked very well when every NFT in the collection was the same, but less well when there were many different types of NFTs. And in a world where every NFT is different, it didn't work perfectly. There's NFT 20, which had a very interesting community-based approach to fractionalization, where anybody could take an NFT and place it into the vault and receive a shard. And anybody could take a shard, put it back into the vault, and take out an NFT. And this is a beautiful concept of having a gallery or collection of NFTs, which is really truly created by the community, where it doesn't have to go through a vote. It's a self-serve business model.
Yeah.
The game theory problem around that is that there's always an incentive to give the worst NFT possible and take the best one out. And Uniquely was the first protocol on fractionalization, which was able to fractionalize multiple NFTs with a lot of variety. So you could have a CryptoPunk and a Rev Racing car and a Uniswap LP position all within the same vault. And even though they're all very different NFTs, the game theory doesn't get in the way.
All right, another question. Thanks again for giving, quick. That was really amazing. Okay, that of the other platforms. Now, has JennyDAO fractionalized any INFTs?
Intelligent NFTs, not yet. But that is a very interesting space. I think.
What is that? Sorry, this is even beyond me. What is an intelligent?
Maybe Tesla can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what he's getting at here is NFTs which are able to evolve to the environment.
Like there's one plant version, right? It changes every single day.
Yeah. Or you can embed secret messages within NFTs that only the owner is able to decrypt. Or you can have a secret NFT with a message that only happens if an oracle from the outside world communicates with him that something happened. So, the oracle says that it's Britney Spears' birthday, and on that day, Britney Spears or Paris Hilton's NFT, has a birthday song singing to you. I think that's the what you're trying to mean by intelligent NFTs. And I think it'd be really cool to buy one. We haven't bought one yet, and a lot of these concepts are still in development.
All right. Has any regulator start knocking on your door yet?
There's a door behind me. None yet. It might happen someday. I think the regulations in this space are still being developed, And I think that there has been a statement by the SEC specifically regarding fractionalization. I think NFT fractionalization is at a bit of a disadvantage because SEC regulators are often very cultured people and educated people. And these are the kind of people who spend a lot of time in galleries and museums, and they understand art. And for them, NFT fractionalization is very conceptually easy to understand. The argument for going after NFT fractionalized NFTs versus going over any other synthetic asset, such as DAI and MakerDAO, or synthetics derivatives, synthetic dollar, synthetic Bitcoin, synthetic every other type of dollar, is I think morally and theoretically very similar, but you haven't had any statements about that. But there've been statements about fractionalization, but there've also been statements about from regulators about tokens in general. I think 4 years ago, somebody said that every token is a security, and we haven't had the regulator go after every token. For JennyDAO in particular, there are some lines of defense. The first one is that the funds themselves are not controlled by me or by my co-founder. It's in a multi-sig, where the majority of people controlling the multi-sig are people from the community. So even I don't have control of the funds, and even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to disperse them. The second argument is that the decision-making is done collectively through voting by the members of the community. And so there's no third-party person managing the money and the assets on behalf of the token holders. How this gets interpreted in the future is something we'll have to see.
You want to take this one? Where is JennyDAO based?
In the metaverse.
But where are you based right now? What's your location? Are you in Europe? Is it or in San Francisco right now?
I am in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay. All right. Great. Really nice office environment.
It's it's nice. I'm surrounded by video game developers.
All right. So with that, okay, I think we have covered all the questions. I'd like to thank Benjamin Ramu joining us for the entire hour to help us understand JennyDAO, right? To learn our future roadmap, what's exciting to come. Also answering all the questions, okay, to better understand what's really exciting to. So that concludes our day number 4. And now, don't forget, okay, to claim your attendance token by scanning, okay, the QR code. The secret code is Malacca 6, which is a popular tourist, okay, destination in Malaysia. MELKAKA6. MELAKA6. Malacca 6. So don't forget, okay, to claim your proof attendance token. Also, we have a blockchain bootcamp, okay, by MDEC next Tuesday. Please, if you have not signed up for it yet, but you want to skill up, okay, there's going to be like a lot of really, really good projects, okay, that you get to meet, like for example, Engine, Sandbox, Yield Guild Games, Sky Mavis, etc., etc. Okay, so register for that right now. Now we're gonna go and give the gonna do the giveaway, the Aave Pack Swag Pack giveaway. And how we're gonna do that is that I have put up all the names on a wheel, okay, and I'm gonna spin the wheel, and one lucky winner would basically get win Aave Swag Pack. So good luck, everyone. And the winner is John Lim. Congratulations, John. Okay, remember, in order to claim your prize, Bitcoin Malaysia and Access Malaysia will never DM you first. Okay, you must get in contact with us. Please DM me, okay, your full name, mobile phone number, and shipping address so that Aave can ship this directly to your doorstep via DHL. All right. Okay, so that concludes our session for today. Um, Again, thank you very much, Benjamin Rameau. Please be back here tomorrow, as we are on our fifth day. We conclude, Southeast Asia DeFi Week with Imperium Universe. I had a lot of fun, today. Thank you, Benjamin. I hope you have to see you again in the next Southeast Asia NFT Week.
See you,
Bye,
Jason.
everyone.
Bye bye.